Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Hey, here on the table we got a very special knife. We have a Rough Ryder Reserve, and it is the Coke Bottle pattern, and it is a midlock. So if you're not familiar with Rough Ryder Reserve, well, let's back up and just say it's my understanding that SMKW came out with the Rough Ryder brand somewhere in the 90s, late 90s, I believe, mid to late 90s. And then, I'm not sure when, but they came out with a Rough Ryder Reserve. So most of us are all familiar with all of the other little Rough Ryder patterns that they come out with. Here's a canoe. They call it the Blue Mule. So very fine knives, the Rough Ryders. They come out as a budget line. Even yet today, most of them can be found for $15 or $20 or something like that, and they've got pretty good quality for the price. But they decided to come out with the Reserve line, and they come in a box like this. Actually, I have two of these, and they were both gifts. Can you believe it? Got an old Army engineer knife here that I'm going to be working on, I hope. But let's get this opened up here. Okay, so this is RRR048. So it comes in the box like this. And then inside the box, you have a really, really nice tube here that the knife comes in. You open it up. And you've got this little foam pad here is the stopper up there. And then it comes with a cleaning pad, cleaning cloth, I should say. Always built by hand and backed for life. And what else? I don't know if there was any other paperwork in here or not. Nope, and then foam down in the bottom. So it comes very well packaged. So it is a little bit more higher quality line of knives by Rough Ryder. Sorry, I bumped my camera there. And I got to say, I really like these tins, these round tins that they come in. Now, the advantage to collecting the Rough Ryders is that one of the Rough Ryders' goals was to kind of go back in time and look at patterns, traditional patterns, that haven't been made or are not currently being made by other knife companies. And from what I understand, the Coke bottle design goes back to the late 1800s. I may be wrong on this. I'm just spitballing here just a little bit. But anyway, I do know, as one person said, they think the Coke bottle pattern came out before the Coke bottle. So if that kind of dates it there just a little bit. Now this one is an extremely large knife. I mean, just look at this knife here. It really does. Now I wear a large to extra large glove, and you can see I got plenty of handle there. So it's really nice that Rough Ryder can come out and recreate some of these old nostalgic patterns. Now, I did find a listing for this knife on SMKW, but it does say it's out of stock. I haven't searched any other websites, so some of your other discount knife stores might have some available still, or you've always got the auction websites to check out. But it looks like, this went for $29.99, and they call it the Rough Ryder Reserve Coke Bottle Red Jigged Bone RRR048. So as you know, I always like to go back and just see what the marketing department has to say on a knife. And on this one it says, discover the perfect fusion of classic design and modern performance with the Rough Ryder Reserve Coke Bottle Red Jig Bone. This premium knife features a 3.75-inch clip point blade crafted from tough, edge-holding D2 tool steel with a refined satin finish offering exceptional cutting performance and corrosion resistance. And you can go ahead and pause this slide and read a little bit more about it if you'd like to. And it also has specifications on there. So there's more information there if you'd like to read that. So looking closely at this knife, we look at the red jig bone. Of course, we can start with the bomb shield there. Looks like we got nickel silver pins, nickel silver bolsters, and I've never had a problem with the bone on a Rough Ryder. I have to say, I think they always do a pretty good job on it. I like how it fades off there. Of course, you know, when you're working with natural materials, every knife is going to come out looking just a little bit different because each piece of bone is going to take to the die differently. But I think this one just came out wonderful. It looks to be, you know, nice and even. A little bit of milky color here and here, a little bit there. Pretty cool. And again, it's a mid-lock. Look at the bolsters here. We can see they're threaded there. And this one is squared off. This one is rounded. Got the nice match strike pull on it there. And just look at this blade shape. We got a swedged clip point blade right there. And this is what the Tang, I always want to say Tang stamp, but this is a Tang printing, I guess you would say. And there it is right there, and it clearly shows it is in the D2. It looks to me, when we look at the blade grind, it looks like it's a very nice, even blade grind. So just a wonderful knife. Now, I forgot to say how I got this knife, I think. But I received this knife from ByronK at Splitting Slices. And it was during one of my trips to Illinois where I was able to meet up with ByronK and I believe John from J.O. Ventures and Jerry from Big J's Knives. We all got together and went out and did some knife shopping together. So this was a very nice gift from ByronK. Thanks, ByronK. You're always taking care of me and looking out for me, and I really do appreciate it. So look at that. Looks like we have about a 4.5-inch blade. Nice big long blade. Got a little sharpening choil in there. Matchstick pull again. Pretty nice thick blade stock right here. Now this would be a challenge to carry in your pocket. You probably have to get some sort of a pouch if you wanted to carry it, something to carry on your belt, or in a way it's like a back pocket knife. You'd stick this in your back pocket. So yeah, isn't it wonderful? I know that some people don't like Rough Ryders because of where they are manufactured, but I gotta tell you, if you're looking for old vintage knife patterns, you have to go to a company like Rough Ryder and Marbles and some of those, because that's the only place you're going to find them, unless you go to the old auction sites. You know, I think Case made a Coke bottle. If you found one of these from the 20s or 30s or something like that and it was in good condition, you're going to be paying mega bucks for it. So it is a very nice option, especially for a collector. You can buy this at a reasonable price. If you like this design, then you can go out and maybe find yourself an old Case or some other old vintage knife company that made one. But if you don't like it, you're not out on a lot of money, and you know to go on to a different pattern to look for. So the Rough Ryders have a very special purpose. Not only that, but they are good quality and very usable. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this look at this Rough Ryder Reserve large Coke bottle with this gorgeous red bone. So until next time, have a very delightful day.